today's show, the best of the midweek European action from 3 competitions with some stunning goals. The best from the Barclays League, including Liverpool's lambasting of First Division newcomers Crystal Palace. We pay a visit to the Pars, Dunfermline Athletic, and find out how manager Jim Leishman is planning more woe for Rangers. And we feature the striker who can't stop scoring, Mick the Magpie, who's already bagged 9 for Newcastle.
Very good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, folks.
Well, James, what a week it's been for me. A week of records. I was at Liverpool on Tuesday, saw 8 players score. You know, it's never been done before, different players. Wednesday, I was at Doncaster Races. You know, I'm not a racing man. Went there, saw the horse go down, and the jockeys get injured, and subsequently the ledger has been abandoned. Last night I went to see Seb Coe, the last appearance in the UK, so quite a week, eh?
Quite a week, quite a week. Well, you think those were records? Tell you what, at Southend last night, the crowd got shut out. They had to delay the game for half hour. That's a record,
That's
isn't it?
got to be a record. One of the funniest things of the week, obviously, was Barcelona last week. This fella must have had a few drinks, and he carried his leg over the hurdles.
It's true, you can't... It's difficult, as we all know, to get your leg over when you've had a few drinks, and there he is being hurled off for... well, I don't know what he was held off for, but it was a bit of fun, that, wasn't it?
I think it was for the breathalyzer.
Everyone got well fed up with the old rain in Spain, didn't they?
Yeah.
It really did sort of come down and spoil things.
Gave us a bit of entertainment in the last.
He did indeed.
Right, well, we start today with Europe, and the bad news on Wednesday was the failure of depleted Rangers in their opening game against Bayern Munich. Now, despite his investments, it looks as though Graham Souness's European dream will have to wait. No mistake, though, by the reigning European champions, AC Milan.
AC Milan have Ruud Gullit and Marco van Basten nursing long-term injuries, but they were too strong for HJK Helsinki. One of their newcomers, Giovanni Stroppa, striking a 7th-minute goal. Daniele Massaro back with Milan after a year with Roma. He added 2 more, this is first, and Milan virtually ensured their place in the second round, going on to win by 4 goals to 0.
Inter Milan's exceptional form in winning the Italian League promised much for their European Cup challenge. But in Sweden, the only goal of the night came from Malmö's Hakan Lindman, flicking on the free kick from Joachim Nilsson. Inter, though, still favourites to go through.
Marseille in white against the Danish champions Brøndby. Marseille had to wait until 62 minutes to make the breakthrough through Frank Soze. Chris Waddle's European debut, and he was involved in 2 more Marseille goals. The first 4 minutes after Soze's effort. An athletic volley from Jean-Pierre Papin. Papin, such a regular scorer for Marseille. Waddle's goal touch eludes him at the moment, though, but while he's making chances, Marseille won't worry. Philippe Vercuis wrapping up a 3-0 win.
Barcelona's defence of the Cup Winners' Cup has started in miserable fashion. Against Legia Warsaw, Zubizarreta's headstrong challenge couldn't prevent the Polish side from scoring first through Latka after 25 minutes. It wasn't then until 6 minutes from time that Barcelona at least managed to salvage a draw. Julio Salinas brought down the penalty awarded by referee Rolf Blackman from Switzerland. Up stepped Ronald Koeman, their £5 million signing from PSV Eindhoven, to score his 3rd penalty in 2 matches.
Still in the Cup Winners' Cup, what a recovery for Swansea. They were 3 down away to Panathinaikos in Athens, the Welsh club in the lower reaches of the 3rd division, but responding with real character. 3-1 now, Paul Rayner the scorer. Ian Evans, the Swansea manager, sensing a glimmer of hope. Panathinaikos revealing a vulnerability in the air and conceding a 2nd goal to John Salako, on loan from Crystal Palace. There was one happy Palace player this week then. A 2nd leg to savour in Swansea.
A week after Scotland's disappointing World Cup defeat in Yugoslavia, Celtic headed for the same country this week, and although they too were beaten, at least they maintained their hopes of further progress. Partizan had the better of the first half, Goran Milijevic giving them the lead on 20 minutes. But for Celtic, an away goal just before half-time that could be extremely valuable for the return leg. Mike Galloway, the scorer. Galloway, who also scored for Hearts last season on this same ground in Mostar. Then early in the second half, a winner from Partizan from Milan Jurjevic. But the Yugoslavs were in more trouble with UEFA. This game had been switched to Mostar because of crowd trouble last season, and there were more disturbances this time.
As Cranchard takes it, and Aberdeen have had the worst possible start here. Bet. That's Robertson chasing and meeting it for a terrific goal. Connor, Rapid Vienna retreat. Nicholas, there's a chance for a real finale for Aberdeen here with Grant. Yes! It's squeezed in.
On the far side is Evans. Deep cross, looking for Houchin. Barkley plays it out. There's the head flick on! Graham Mitchell for Hibs!
Dundee United haven't started the new Scottish League season all that promisingly. In the UEFA Cup, though, they were too strong for the Irish club Glentoran in Belfast. 18-year-old Alex Cleland scoring the first for Dundee after half an hour. A battling performance, though, from Glentoran, and Irish hopes were raised in the second half. The equaliser scored by Jameson. But Dundee's extra class told in the end. This their second goal, scored by Jim McNally, the former Coventry and Nottingham Forest player. And 5 minutes from the end, Dundee's third goal, scored by Peter Hines, all of which suggests that the second leg, barring an extraordinary turnaround, will be just a formality.
Well, all in, Jim, not a bad week for the Scottish clubs.
No,
Rangers apart, and I mean, that's not our game, it was the BBC game, so we can't show you it. But maybe it was a good thing we didn't have it, because it was a nightmare, really, for Rangers.
It wasn't a very good evening for Rangers at all. We both discussed it, and we felt tactically they were very wrong. They didn't really go at the Germans at all,
Correct.
did they? Just had Mo Johnson up there, who did actually work very hard. We said something earlier on other than that, but he worked hard, but he didn't have enough support, did he?
No, he didn't, and you know, it looks to me, Jim, as if it might be too big a hurdle for them.
Oh, it is now, Ian. Yeah, it is now. I think they've got
Which
to
is a
resign
pity.
themselves to being out.
Okay, right, so what a week it's been for goals in the Barclays League First Division. 36 last weekend, another 9 in midweek, all from the same team.
Well, here we go.
Well, this was the game I was at,
isn't it?
Jim. It was a marvellous game, and the class of Liverpool obviously was outstanding. I mean, they've got so many talented players. Look at this goal from Nicol. Little bender into the far corner.
Yeah.
Gave the goalkeeper no chance. And I think if you look at all the goals, really the goalkeeper shouldn't blame himself too much.
Oh, no.
Steve McMahon, who
That was a
found
great
all the space
effort.
in the world to run through all night.
I think it was very nice of Crystal Palace to turn up. I mean, you have to look at it objectively, as rushy scoring is, although probably a pen on Beardsley anyway.
Well, funnily enough, there had been a couple of claims for penalties in the
Yeah.
game that Liverpool might
Yeah,
have
I'm
had. So it could have been even more than
surprised.
9, really. This was a good header. Gillespie at the near post, I
You
thought.
surprised me there weren't a claim for a penalty for Crystal Palace. Did they ever get up the other end, or what?
Well, actually, they missed a penalty.
Did they?
Crystal Palace. So, I mean, that was the lovely little 1-2 here.
That is shot.
Beardsley rush,
Yeah.
and a lovely finish by Beardsley
Oh,
there.
yeah, great finish.
I mean, you had to feel for Stevie
You
Coppell,
got-
obviously, in his chair.
You've got to feel for them.
Mr.
In
Notes.
fact, I saw Stevie Coppell and Ron Nodes last night at Southend, but they left before 9.
I think
And I wasn't able
this
to
was the
speak to them.
this was the penalty here when Whelan was brought down. Again, this Liverpool running from midfield. But the amazing thing here was John Aldridge was brought on off the bench. As you know, he's leaving for Real Sociedad. Brought on to take the penalty, Jim. His first kick of the evening. Bit of pressure on him.
It's
Stroked it.
nice, isn't it, that he should go out like that. It's almost like, well,
It was great
Liverpool being
theatre. The whole
Liverpool.
thing was theatre,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, here, Barnes, with the skill that he's got, a little bender
Yeah.
into the top corner.
Palace fans took this very well, I understand.
Well, the
They were-
Palace fans actually got a round of applause from Liverpool fans because they were singing "We Are the Champions," they were
Yeah.
going to win the league, and you know, there was a lot of fun in the night.
Yeah, oh,
This is-
that's good, because there are a lot of supporters that wouldn't have taken it that
No.
way, so all credit to the fans.
Hussein's first goal for the club there, that header, he's always threatened to score goals
Yeah.
in the air.
Yeah.
And Stevie Nicol wrapping it all up there with his second goal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So all in all, it was a marvellous, you know, night of football, Jim, all in. And to be fair to Palace, you know, they'd made a contribution.
And this is John Aldridge, isn't it? His farewell. Throwing his shirt into the crowd. Now,
quite emotional, this, Jim, actually.
It is, actually. Oh, it's emotional for Kenny Dalglish. He's got to buy a new set of shirts now. Boots as well.
Boots as well.
Lovely ending to a great night.
It was,
really
it
was,
yeah. Now, as I was saying, there was 36 goals in the First Division last week, and a marvellous variety of goals. And I think we can look at the different types of goals, Jimmy, that were scored, because, as we know, you know, there's ways of scoring goals.
That's
this
right.
was a lovely goal by Pat Nevin in the match against Manchester United for Everton.
Yeah.
Watch the skill here. Took it close to Jim Leighton, and then just dinked his foot underneath it. That was lovely skill.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk
got a lot of skill.
we talk about European players, you know, scoring skillful goals, but that was lovely.
Well, you'll always see great goals scored in this country, won't you?
Here, I think, is a typical English goal, if you like. Far post header, Sharpie coming in, brave header at the back post. We see a lot of them throughout the season, Jim, but again, that was typical brave header.
It's a good goal because it is scored through bravery, isn't it, rather than skill. I mean, you have to have skill, but there's bravery there.
Now, here's a spectacular goal.
Oh, yeah.
That was Rosario for Norwich City. Beautiful
That
struck.
was some
That was
shot,
again
that.
a volley, Jim, from, what, 25 yards?
Yeah, and he had to bend his body in an awkward position there. He did very well there, lad. Great goal.
Same game, right out this time for Southampton. Nice goal, holding off defenders, and then...
Back of that net's taken a pound, isn't it?
That must have been a cracking game.
Yeah.
That was lovely. Now, here's Liverpool at Derby. Peter Beardsley showing the class, Jim. He gets one-on-one with the defender, immediately attacks him, gets him inside the box.
You can't say anything about Peter Beardsley, except I wish I'd like to see him do it for England, that's all. Sure. Exactly that same thing. He's a master at it. Great goal.
And this one here now, young Thomas of Arsenal, Michael Thomas, he showed last year he's brilliant at this, just bursting from midfield.
He always scores them in the last 30 seconds of matches, so...
Yeah, still hard to take that. But that was a terrific goal. So, nice little variety
Good
there.
stuff,
I enjoyed those goals. Now, the headlines this week again in the papers, Yaman, this morning, of course, Manchester United spending more dosh, as you would say, trying to build a team. Paul Ince has finally gone. Now, did that surprise you?
It did, actually, in the end, because I think the on-off situation, and it was a very badly handled transfer from start to finish, I think, by everybody. And I really felt that Manchester City, United had called on it. I thought it was all over for the lad. But obviously, they've had second thoughts. It's back on again. And they'll be looking for him to score goals like this and do things like this, because it's a lot of money. He's playing against Millwall this afternoon. And hopefully, for the boys' sake, because it's been a very controversial thing, that he does well.
Now,
Danny Wallace.
Danny Wallace will sign, I gather, this afternoon on the pitch at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock he's going to sign.
Now, it's a lot of money, Jimmy, for a player who, not a great goal-scoring record, about 1 in 4, little Danny. This is him scoring against Manchester City this season. You know, a 1 in 4 ratio.
It's not a lot, really, when you look at it. They'll be looking for a better ratio than that, I would think.
Yeah.
But,
there you are. A lot of money, but there they
2
are.
o'clock he's signing, is he, on the field? Good Lord.
Well, that's it for part 1. When we come back, we visit Dunfermline as they prepare to face Rangers. And we give you the answer to last week's competition and feature the league's leading goal scorer. Join us again in a couple of minutes.